Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another episode of Football Moshla Podcast. Yes, and you heard this right. This is a podcast, and we are going to talk about quite a few things. Today, we're going to talk about Rafinha's Ballon d'Or ranking. Should it have been Dembele versus Rafinha instead of Dembele versus Lamine Yamal? We're going to talk about Real Madrid and the Vinny Junior situation. What's actually going on? Is he fancied by Xabi Alonso or he's not fancied by him? Should he start all the games? Should he not? So we're going to talk about the undefeated streak of Crystal Palace and Liverpool's undefeated streak. They're going up against each other. What gives? Fardan's favorite, Antony, versus Antony and Real Betis. How he is actually dragging Real Betis and shining for them. We're going to talk about Saliba and Savino's new contracts. Yes,
Oof,
they are
big
in the
stuff.
process of signing new contracts. And we might wrap it up with some FPL content. So stay tuned for the until the end. And without wasting any more time, I'm your host Qazi Adil. This is Fardan. Fardan, let's get right into it.
Of course, let's get right into it. But guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe to the channel. Do gently touch the like button. I know people like to say smash the like button, but you can gently tap it. The like would appreciate. Join the conversation. Join us in the comments. We're back with a full episode this time, and it's gonna be a good one. We're gonna start with the most buzzing topic, the Ballon d'Or, that happened this past Monday. We're recording not that much after, and yeah, I mean it was pretty much what we talked about, right, Adil? It was Dembele. It was supposed to be Dembele. He deserves it. The goal contributions, the Champions League, his overall everything that's been happening, the beautiful story that he shared on stage, his mom joining on stage, it was absolutely incredible. But I know that we can talk about Dembele for an entire podcast, but today we're going to highlight a player that I, along with many, feel like should have been either number two or arguably people say should have won,
No.
which is Rafinha from Brazil, notably Barcelona slash Brazil, Brazil slash Barcelona. And obviously, his on field contributions, his goal contributions, assists, being dispossessed, winning possession, winning fouls, scoring not only tap ins, but also free kicks and long range. He actually had a variety of goals, and he was instrumental in Barcelona's campaign in the La Liga. Yeah, they didn't go to the Champions League, and sometimes they say that because you didn't win the Champions League, no, you're not going to win Ballon d'Or. But this guy did, I feel like, along with others, that he did more than Yamal. Now, Yamal being up there because, like I said, popularity contest, people voting, media outlets voting, there was a lot of hype that was created because he is a fancy player. He's like the new Neymar of 2025 or the 2024-25 season. He just came out of nowhere, a teenager, a sensation. So his popularity wise makes sense why he's there. But for Rafinha to be under Mohamed Salah or in ranking wise and under Cole Palmer, I don't think so. Cole Palmer's contribution was the World Cup final, along with small contributions here and there in the Premier League and the Europa Conference League. To some extent, fine. Cole Palmer, you know what, for the sake of argument. But Mo Salah only won the Premier League last season. And
So those who doesn't know, or those who don't know, what was Rafinha's ranking in the Ballon d'Or is fifth.
Mhm.
Salah is fourth.
Yep. So nobody expected Rafinha to be bottom of Salah because if Cole Palmer is number 8 and Mohamed Salah is at number 4, Vitinha, Rafinha. Okay, now this is a conversation we can have. Vitinha as a central attacking midfielder, he was instrumental for PSG, but Rafinha was also not too far behind. If you do the head-to-head stats of Vitinha and Rafinha, Rafinha is ahead, but only because Vitinha won the Champions League along with like a treble basically. He got ahead of Rafinha. Now, if you remove Vitinha from the conversation for a few seconds, why Yamal is number 2? That's the big question. So this is where I will bring you in, Adil. Do you think Yamal deserves to be number 2?
I was actually telling you guys that towards the end of the Champions League that Yamal and it's going to be between Yamal and Dembele. Because the reason, here's my understanding. So the stats says something. Cristiano Ronaldo also had some stats. Messi sometimes had less stats, and then Messi won the Ballon d'Or. Ronaldo didn't. It's what the who passes the eye test to an extent. And people might bash me, that's fine. But you get excited when you watch Rafinha play? He scored goals, but you got excited when you saw Yamal play, right? You
Exactly.
got
Yeah.
excited when you saw Vitinha play. You get excited when you see Salah play, right? Even though Salah's argument this season, I don't buy it. Liverpool fans can say whatever they want to say, but I don't think he lost the Ballon d'Or when he lost to PSG in the Champions League and Nuno Mendes owned him. That's
Oh
it.
yeah.
That was this Ballon d'Or was gone after that. But Rafinha, yes, there's a big argument. It should have been Rafinha versus Dembele, but then Rafinha scored and assisted, but Rafinha did not. To an extent, Barca fans might disagree. To me, if you look at the eye test, he didn't excite. Yamal took the game to the opposition. Yamal almost took the game to Inter, even though Barcelona lost. So there, and also there was a very much, and still is going on, which I don't agree with, that there's a big public PR that's going on with Yamal's camp, that he needs to win the Ballon d'Or. His father is saying all sorts of crap,
Hmm. Hmm.
and morally, it's not the right thing. Whatever. I mean, this is basically in Bangla they call it bosti. This is bosti stuff, right? And I'm gonna say it. This is Neymar 2.0. This is Neymar crap. So
To some
he
extent,
should have
he did contribute to the PR. His dad.
he did contribute to the PR, and then he also pissed off a few people. Becoming arrogant. I think he played Spain versus France, right? And then in the UEFA Nations League, and he made some comments which didn't go down well. Dembele didn't have a PR campaign. Dembele was doing his talking on the pitch, and yes, of course, if you win the Champions League, it helps a lot for you to win the Ballon d'Or. It is a popularity contest, but PSG also have deep pockets. If you want to go controversial, like
Oh,
if you're gonna go down that rabbit
the
hole, then
the Qatari
that
money.
behind the scenes, a lot can happen, right? So,
Yeah.
so I mean, hey, Nasir Al Khalifa, or the guy, he has got deep pockets. He's got a lot of influence. So, but PSG towards the end did play like a PlayStation team, and Luis Enrique said that Vitinha also played like a PlayStation midfielder, right? So it was Vitinha and Yamal. If you take everything aside, they got us excited. Dembele also. Dembele actually dragged that team with a goal, and he played the false nine, and he also pressed as a false nine. Whereas Rafinha, if you see the consistency part of it, I mean, he's been very consistent, but I don't think people noticed him with Yamal also playing in the Barca team. So that's what I think hindered it. But again, it doesn't really matter if you're not on the top two. Do you really want to care about if I'm 3, 4, 5, 6? Does it really matter? I don't think so. If the argument comes, it should have been Dembele versus Rafinha. Yes, I totally get that. If you go on merit, form, goal scoring, assist, it should have been Dembele versus Rafinha. But again, I mean, to an extent, Rafinha couldn't get the voters excited. That's
No, I think
my
you
take.
have clarified because I got on the bandwagon since Monday night after the event because I'm a Brazil fan and the bias kicks in, right? So when I saw when everybody were putting the stats side by side, there were some stats even I didn't know, and I'm notorious for my stats, as you might know. But I was like, wow, okay. I did know Rafinha scored more goals, but I thought that Yamal had more goal contributions. But then again, I think the Ballon d'Or at the end of the day, you're right about the word excitement. What causes excitement? What causes people? To some extent, even Cole Palmer, in the Premier League, he can bring in that kind of aura, as you might say, to the game, that kind of presence. And of course, Yamal did do that. Even though he did tricks, those tricks contributed towards the goal. Those tricks made Barcelona stand out in those games, whether it was El Clasico or whether it was a regular match against Real Sociedad in the La Liga. But yeah, definitely, I think we've clarified that. And yeah, Yamal, I think to some extent deserves number two. And with Vitinha versus Rafinha conversation, again, I think you have again clarified. Yeah, you're right. Vitinha did excite the duo, the dynamic duo of the PSG midfield, Wow Neves and
Yeah.
Vitinha. was absolutely incredible. They were instrumental for PSG's. So I think we're good with the Yamal pick.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Yamal is this is not the end of the world for Yamal. I mean, he will be in the top three if he keeps his form like this and it keeps on exciting. He can be he can win it, but also
Such
Rafinha, he
so
should not.
young, right? Such so much more to go.
Yeah, but also Rafinha can also excite and win. Like this is a transit. I mean, Lewandowski is not going to play a lot of games. It's going to be Rashford. Yamal is injured, so Rafinha and Rashford most of the time.
Hmm.
This is Rafinha's chance. Even though I think he came out a little injured today in the La Liga game, but this is his chance. He's also playing in his favorite right hand side position, right wing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So just grab it and then don't be a Vinny Jr. When you lose it, and you go after everybody and you start fighting with everybody. And
Oh, we have a lot.
how
We
the
have to
mighty,
mention Vinicius Junior also.
yes, going so transitioning to Real Madrid and Vinicius Junior. Um, so I think Fardan, there's been rumblings, there's been rumors that Xavi Alonso does not fancy Vinny Junior that much. Well, that was put to bed a little bit by Vinny Junior scoring that wonderful goal, right?
Hmm.
And starting the game. But I think Xabi Alonso is focusing his team around Mbappe and Arda Gular
Yes.
and Mastantuno, if I'm saying that
Mastantuono.
right. Mastantuano. Okay. So the Mastan guy, basically,
Elakar
on the right
Mastan.
wing.
Madrid del Mastan. Mastan of Madrid.
Madrider Mastan. Madrider Mastan on the right hand side. And so Rodrigo and Vinny Jr. seems like they're going to be fighting for that position on the left.
Mm-hmm.
And Arda Gular is very much a mainstay in the center attacking mid. And Mbappe is the focal point. So what's really going on, Fardan? You're a Real Madrid fan.
Yeah, like
You
no, you started with the right words. Not fancying him enough. We got so used to Carlo Ancelotti and Madrid playing in that familiar system. Him chewing Mentos in the technical area and Madrid doing what Madrid does best. But when Xabi Alonso's vision is different, as his prolific season with Bayer Leverkusen, and he adapts to a back four. I feel like when I watch the tactics, when I see Jabi Alonso like frantically running up and down and gesturing and gesticulating at his players, I feel like he only wants to play to the strengths of specific players, like you mentioned, Mbappe. He wants to have the game around Mbappe. And if you notice the Madrid's games, he's in every score sheet. Mbappe was not
Mhm.
that much in the score sheet in the last season. It was Vinny, Mbappe. But as Madrid fans, we would get really frustrated with Vinicius Jr. He would do his fancy dribble. He would go in. He would cut in. He would not pass. Sometimes he would lose the ball. He would fall and complain. And that happened game after game after game. And he would get start after every start. And even I think I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was like, maybe he needs to sit a couple of games out just so that he realizes the worth. Playing for Madrid is not a small thing. When you start for Real Madrid, the one of the biggest clubs in the world, there's my bias coming in. You do not take it for granted. But
You
now
think Real
what's
Madrid is
happening?
bigger than Manchester United? Real Madrid are bigger
Yeah,
than Manchester United, huh? Huh?
yeah,
Huh?
15
Huh?
Champions Leagues.
Nah, come on, billion
No, no,
dollar
I mean,
revenue, like
I, I, I,
650, six
no, I'm a
billion
weird
dollar
kind of
revenue.
fan. I grew up,
I'm just kidding.
being a fan in David Beckham, so that's why the Madrid United thing came in. But United is my first club that I ever supported, so my United is unwavering. Anyways, let's not
Arsenal is the
digress.
biggest club in the world right now with a deep squad.
Yeah,
Arsenal
in terms
fans
of
looking
oh yeah,
into it.
yeah, yes.
Anyways, continue.
Anyways, where were we? Yeah, Jabi Alonso. So Jabi Alonso, I think that he really is the winning kind of a thing. He doesn't believe in the Ancelotti thing where second half will go crazy and first half we will have the lasers on everybody, target acquire, but not shooting. And he shoots in the second half, mainly towards the last 25 minutes. Jabi Alonso will read the game. He will attack. He will defend. He will counter. He will go guns blazing. No pun intended, but with Mbappe mostly because he knows Mbappe will be on target. Mbappe will look for the pass. Mbappe will look for the cut in. And yeah, he is a complete player to some extent. So I think that's where Vinicius Jr. is not being favored, and he's already started his, his thing where he's like, oh, like every in Bangladesh, like every alaka has that player who complains, like, oh, today the weather is not too good, like cricket. When we play cricket, today the bat is weird, today the ball is weird. Even in football, oh, the ground seems very slippery today. So I hate to say it as a Brazil fan also. Vinicius Jr., I want him to be really good in the World Cup, but with this attitude, he needs to be more grounded so that he could flourish not only for Madrid but also for Brazil.
Well said. So, staying in La Liga, let's focus on Antony of Real Betis.
Ooh,
Your boy Antony
my
gave
boy.
my mate Ange Postecoglou
Mm-hmm.
a rude awakening, right? In the
Oh, a rude
Europa League.
awakening. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So what happened, Fardan? Enlighten us with the stats, the data, or just tell us that Anthony was very easy on the eye and Nottingham Forest couldn't handle him and they conceded. They were leading and then they drew the game thanks to Anthony.
This when Real Betis scored 2 goals, and both the goals were and Antony contributed to both goals. One was an assist and one was a goal. And the game was yesterday. It was it, ha- it the Even though they played at home, Nottingham Forest took the game to them. We have to mention a shout out. We have to give a shout out to Igor Jesus, the
Mhm.
young striker from Nottingham Forest, who came in and scored the goals. But then again, Antony. This was Europa League, so Nottingham Forest coming into Europe after a long time. But the party belonged to Antony, and I'm pulling up the stats as we speak. Actually, so he played as a right winger. He played the full 90, and he only took 3 shots on goal. And out of the 3 shots, he scored one. And his his pass accuracy 82%, and his expected goal is only 0.35. His expected assist combined expected goal is 0.2, and the expected assist is 0.14, which means he overperformed his expected goals and expected assists. And for some reason, Antony in this particular system he flourishes more. And the funny thing is, even 4-3-3 to some extent, United played also in under different managers. He also played on the right wing, but he didn't do this good. In the La Liga, Antony is a beast. And I don't know, but then again, they played Europa against Nottingham Forest, who are known to be defensive as of last season. But this season under Ange, Nottingham Forest are not good. Even before Ange under Nuno Espirito Santos, they were not also that good. So something really terrible is happening with Nottingham Forest. It was very tough for the Nottingham defenders to take control of the game. I have to mention Zinchenko, who looked like who didn't look that good, that comfortable against Antony. And I really feel like Nottingham Forest should not have started Zinchenko against Antony.
Yeah, I think we should mention that Nottingham Forest did not start their usual 11. They had signed a lot of players, so they actually rotated the squad, and the Wood factor is gone under Ange because Wood didn't start, and Kalimuendo didn't start. He came off the bench, so it was Igor Jesus. He's also, I think, a Brazilian center forward. He's a budget option in FPL if you guys are interested in that. So,
We'll get to that.
so he's not. So it was not a full on Nottingham Forest team of first 11, a strong Nottingham Forest team where Betis uh were
From the Nottingham Forest
full strength.
standpoint, it's weird because if you're coming back to Europe after so long, and if you have a new manager, why wouldn't you play to your strengths? And why would you
Well, I don't
play
know.
the
Can
only
you
in
figure
terms
out
of
Ange?
regular? I'm sorry.
Can you figure out Ange? Ange, nobody can figure him out, and he's not gonna be there for that long unless he wins
Really,
something in his second season, mate.
you
He
don't think
needs to
he's
win
gonna last
something
the
in his
full
second.
season?
I don't think he's gonna get a second season chance. He almost got. I mean, he needs to do something, unless it's a Greek connection with the owner. Unless he
Oh
can
yeah.
satisfy the owner.
If he sips some
That's
Greek
not it.
frappes by the beach in Greece, then he's in for sure.
So yeah, that's Anthony for you guys. Now we had a lot of La Liga, and I we're gonna have to transition back to the exciting league, which is the Premier League. And we're going to talk about Crystal Palace versus Liverpool at Selhurst Park. So Liverpool away, Crystal Palace at home. Why are we talking about this? Because both the teams are undefeated. Crystal Palace are undefeated in the last 17 or 18 games in all competition, and Liverpool are undefeated this season. Something's got to give, or maybe not, because they both draw and keep their undefeated streak alive. So this is going to be interesting. Mark Gahey is going to play a Liverpool target, but now he has a lot of options. And Liverpool are actually, they lost Giovanni Leone to an ACL injury, the young center back that they just signed, and he just started the game against Southampton in the Carabao Cup. So that's things. Liverpool only have three fit center backs: Joe Gomez, Konate, and Virgil van Dijk. I think Slot might play Robertson or Kirkez as a center back. I think he played Robertson as a center back and played Kirkez as a left back. Yeah, this is what happened
That's
in that
Moshla.
game. I was
I did
watching.
not see that coming.
Yeah, I saw that because I mean, once Leone got injured, that's when he made the subs. So Kirkez and Robertson were both on the pitch. So that was that. Again,
The
another fun
spotlight on
thing.
this is not just them being undefeated. Like you mentioned, Gahey and Glasner. There was so much talk about Glasner running interference on this, not making sure Gahey doesn't go. Gahey is also, being spotted by Thomas Tuchel, and he's probably going to
Which
be.
Glasner actually clarified that it was not him; it was the owner who actually said no.
Okay, so he So, but those things linger on the pitch. So it's going to be such an interesting to watch them on the sideline. Slot on one side, Glasner on one side. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of not friendly banter. Like there's going to be a lot of anger on both sides to some extent. I think Slot also wanted Gahey to some extent, and Glasner has a lot to prove maybe because they are underrated as a defensive side. I know he plays a back three. We spoke extensively about it in our other videos. And the Crystal Palace,
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, we spoke a lot about them. But I think that the back three of Lacroix, Richards, Gahey, and then the wingbacks, Munoz, his work rate is incredible. So we don't see that amount of work rate apart from Kerkez. I know Frimpong is still adjusting to the system of Slot, but I think Kerkez, we saw that he does not have the full energy or the full stamina that's required as much as Munoz. Munoz is South American. He has a different play style, a different set of lungs compared to Kerkez. No offense to Kerkez, but I feel like Munoz is going to really shine in this match.
Well, it depends on who Crystal Palace gets back from injury, right? So if it's Ismail Assar is back, that gives them another option. Mateta has to shine. Mateta has to bully the Konate and Van Dijk because that's size against size basically.
Oh yeah,
and
Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah. So I think a lot of things needs to fall into place, but I think Liverpool has a lot of quality. I think Liverpool will make it. I don't see them. If Liverpool loses this, then we can take Crystal Palace very seriously this season. But I think Liverpool's going to win it. But we should mention that Ekitike is suspended for this game.
My goodness.
The reason is basically
we have to mention what happened.
So the reason is basically I was watching it live and I was watching it without commentary as the commentary was turned low, and I'm like, didn't he? I saw him getting a yellow card, and then he scores a goal. He scores a tap in, and then he's taking off his shirt. I'm like, he got a yellow card, but I'm like, oh, then maybe it's a Carabao Cup, so they might not give it to him. You know, maybe the referees are very liberal and lenient. They're gonna be like, oh, let it go, and then he gets the second yellow card for taking off his shirt, which is apparently if you take off your shirt, it's a rule. Regardless of whatever the situation is, you're going to get a yellow card. So he was booked, and then he gets a second yellow card, and he's off. He scores a tap-in, and the tap-in is basically should have been Chiesa's goal because Chiesa made everything, and Chiesa passed it to him. So instead of going to Chiesa, he just
Chiesa was amazing in that game.
He's like, yeah, because I think what happened here is that he's feeling the pressure of Isak, right? Isaac started, Isaac scored a goal. Chiesa passed it to Isaac, and Isaac scored in the first half. So now he's like, all right, I come on for Isaac. I want to play against Crystal Palace. I want to be Liverpool's main number 9. And I want to score. You see, I scored a goal. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
if I take off my shirt if I'm on a yellow card. I think he forgot he was on a yellow card. So he just took it off,
Definitely. Yeah,
got it.
definitely he forgot. And if you realize his celebration was not just about taking off the shirt, he held out and pointed to his name as if, like,
Yeah.
he's trying to be on the board or
Messi.
something. Yeah, I mean,
It was like Messi like celebration.
yeah,
Messi and
Messi,
Ronaldo style.
yeah, they do stuff because they have done stuff, bro. You're fairly new. Welcome to the Premier League. You're playing the Carabao. You scored against a team. You guys were struggling. It was on the verge of a draw. It might have gone to extra time. I mean, come on. I don't know. It was very childish, honestly. And Slot, whatever he said after the
And
game, saying stupid, likely so, it was actually very stupid.
Slot was not happy, and he mentioned it in the press conference. So I think the word is that they have also fined him 2 weeks of wages for this, Liverpool.
Ooh. Okay.
So it's going to be a long road back for Ekitike to get into the starting 11. So that will open up the door for Isaac. So Isaac scores and does well. So that's it. That's
Yeah, if you
Liverpool
if you
starting.
have Isak in your FPL team, he's starting the game.
He is. All right. So now staying on the Premier League, we can talk about a couple of two more players, a couple of things. Savinho of Manchester City signed a new contract. I think he agreed a new contract extension. I think it's a 4 or 5 year contract. It's going to be confirmed, or it has been confirmed. And the Saliba one is going to be confirmed soon. It has been broken by David Ornstein, exclusive by Ornstein, that he has signed until 2030, and it's a 5 year contract.
That's
And
terrible
I'm
news for
thinking
Real
that
Madrid.
it is. So if I'm Saliba, I'm like, did Arteta do some magic on you? Like, Arteta did something because you believe in the Arsenal project this much? I know you guys have a deep squad, but I don't think you have a deep manager. He thinks deep, but he says weird stuff like a lot of people call me CEOs and senior leadership called me because we dominated position at Manchester City. I'm like, yeah, you dominated position, but you didn't beat them. Like, come on. Like, the only XG or only data that counts is the win and how many goals you scored. So I understand these
If possession
XG
was a thing,
possession.
if possession was a thing, World Cup would be based on other things.
Guardiola would have been the number 1 manager in the world if possession was a thing and we based points on that, right? So that didn't happen. So Saliba staying with Arsenal. Good news for Arsenal fans. Bad news for Real Madrid fans.
Man.
Unless Real Madrid breaks the bank and signs them. £100 million, £120 million, right?
It's gonna be
Real
insanely
Madrid can pay that next season.
They can, but as a Madrid fan, I wouldn't want to splash that much cash on just a center back. Yeah, he is one of the best, but how good is he gonna be that next season? His fitness and everything is also another thing. But yeah, it bothers me to some extent. Why he would do such a long extension? Yeah, he would do a courtesy extension for 2 years so that he becomes a free agent for us sooner. But I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to mention Savinho. There was so much chatter about him joining Spurs in this past transfer window, and I know Spurs really wanted him. I think he kind of fits the profile also for Spurs, and Thomas Frank favors these kind of speedy, kind of hungry wingers. And Savinho does bring a lot to the plate, but it's just that Pep right now is favoring Doku a lot more for the Premier League, and to some extent Champions League also, and rightly so. Doku has proved himself, but Savinho is no less, and him extending the contract only makes me wonder. It might have been a good decision for Manchester City, but from the Savinho side, I don't think that's a good decision. Savinho deserves more game time. As a Brazil fan, also, I want to see him flourish more and get more game time for the upcoming World Cup.
Well, this is a sign that Pep is changing his tactics a little bit. I think Pep is going more direct. He signed Donnarumma. He has Haaland. He's playing Doku. Now he's signing Savinho to a long-term contract. So that means that Savinho and Doku can play on the flanks, and that's going to help Haaland and Donnarumma. So playing out from the back, keep the ball. Pep might be doing counter-attacking. Who knows? They were interesting times. Long
Long ball from Donnarumma,
gone
right?
those days. Long ball from Donnarumma to Haaland. Long ball from Donnarumma to Savinho. Long ball from Donnarumma to Doku. You just go route one. That's it. And I think Pep is experimenting with that. Pep is like, all right, you guys all figured out my retained possession philosophy. Now let's go for counter-attacking stuff. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out and how Manchester City adapts to this, because they kept on players that usually Pep Guardiola lets go, and then they let go a player, Ilkay Gundogan,
Hmm.
who's usually a Pep Guardiola type of player.
Oh,
So
for sure, yeah.
it's an interesting time for Manchester City. All right, so we are coming towards the end of it. We're gonna wrap it up with the FPL stuff. We promised you that. So
Yes, for
Fardan,
sure.
we have
Saving the
not
best
covered
for the
FPL
last.
this season. We I will not disclose why we stopped covering it, because there's one
I have,
person who
I have
doesn't
no
like
idea
to
what you're talking about.
share all his secrets.
I don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Allegedly, my co-host thinks that we should not be giving away all our secrets of FPL, and he wants to win the mini league and all the leagues and everything.
I don't know what that
So
means.
Fardan,
Never said anything
what
like
do you
that.
have for our listeners, viewers? Allegedly, I guess.
So upcoming game week 6 is an exciting one because Manchester City are hosting Burnley and Spurs are hosting Wolves. So both the teams defense wise are terrible. So for example, me, I am planning to free hit. So if I free hit, I can load up on Manchester City and Spurs. My team has Reinders and Haaland. No, sorry, Reinders only because when I wildcarded, I let go of Haaland, which was very dumb of me. I favored Salah over Haaland. I was going for something different, even though my team is doing good generally speaking. But those Haaland points are going to hurt me in the long run. Haaland looks almost like the first season that he played for Manchester City. He looks fitter and meaner. Salah on the other side, 14 million, 14.5 million, whatever his price is. I feel like that price can be distributed very nicely in the midfield and those points can come back because one assist and one goal, hopefully, yeah, if two other players, two 7 million midfielders can easily bring it for me. So I'm looking to free hit for Spurs and Man City and some other favorable fixtures. I'll just fit them into the team for 1 week, and then I reset back into a different team for the following week. In terms of wildcard, a lot of managers are wildcarding because people mostly loaded up on Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest and other teams, and they fell behind on the mini leagues on the global rankings. And part of our mini league also had some conversation with Rifad, Kanchanbhai, Shihan, and a few others, and they're all very frustrated with their teams. And last week, whoever
The
had
experts,
Sanchez, huh?
yeah, the experts of
The,
FPL,
the
the
experts of
reigning,
FPL.
defending champion, Kanchon,
Yeah,
and
the
Rifat.
defending champion of our mini
Rifat
league.
is
Yes, Kanchanbhai.
he's getting there.
No, I think he's going to do good this season. His team, his wildcard team, I had a chance to look at it. It looks very good. Also, what was I saying about wildcard is a great time to do it because now everybody has gotten, the must-haves. You know that Bruno, Semenyo, Reinders are your must-haves. To some extent, Kudus also.
You sure
And
about Bruno being a must-have?
I think so too because with DefCon coming in and his running around like a headless chicken, which we do not like him doing. He's getting a lot of DEFCON and bonus points as soon as he contributes to a goal. So in certain fixtures, because Sunderland is coming up at home on game week 7, which I really hope they don't struggle in that game because Sunderland are notorious for being good defensively. But at Old Trafford, the tempo is different for Manchester United. So we're hoping Bruno will do good. Also, since we're talking about chips, I have to mention Haaland. Triple captain is on the cards. I know a few people are going for triple captain for Haaland. I have a nightmarish memory from last season when I triple captained him against Southampton, and he returned me 9 points or like something, and that really set me back the whole season. Or else I would never have played in a single game week now. But with the current format of FPL, I think that this is a very very good week to triple captain. It's just that because with Champions League just in matter of days, I feel like Haaland's minute will be severely managed by Pep, and Marmoush might come in for some minutes. So that's why I will not triple captain Haaland. I would not recommend it. With it 45 minutes, if he scores a hat trick, great for a triple captainer. But with free hit, if I captain, I can probably, hopefully, gather up those points from the rest of the team.
Wow. See, that's what I call Fardan, the Pep Guardiola of our FPL, right? He overanalyzes and analyzes and analyzes and analyzes and analyzes and analyzes. And then and he gets the data. So he's still overthinking. We will not know for a fact what he will do up until the deadline. I think that, which is a 6 a.m. deadline on a Saturday. So he probably going to be awake until 5:50 a.m. on a Saturday. And then after that, we will know what he did. So whatever he says sounds good. Take it with a grain of salt. But I listen to him all the time, and my target is just top 4, baby. That's it in the mini league, top 4. I'll be happy. And I know we have new players, very good team, good managers who came in our mini league FPL stuff. So this is going to be fantastic. This is going to be actually a true test of the experts who talk a lot about FPL, who are who have been playing it for a long time. So it's gonna be good to see how you guys deal with this season with DEFCON points. Anyways, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gents, and listening. Only request is please subscribe to the channel and enlighten us with your FPL comments or any comments that you guys think about. So
PL comments, La Liga comments,
every
FPL
Thursday
comments,
we try to
Bundesliga comments, Conference League comments, Fenerbahce comments, whatever.
the special one is back to Benfica.
The special one.
Anyways, Jose Mourinho. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.